What's going on, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Expected Bets for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. We apologize for the delay. My microphone just decided now is the time that it wants to shit the bed before.
Yeah, why not right now?
Yeah, why not right now? Yeah, just utterly brutal. But we have it resolved, and we are on. We got a 5-game slate today, so not terrible. Franco, before we dive into that, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good. Feel like I'm at the point where I'm ready for the season to get to the playoffs. A lot of unpredictable shenanigans going on recently. Last night being a perfect example of it. Vegas missing Eichel, Pietrangelo. Looking at the lines, I was like, "There's no way this team's going to put up a fight on a back-to-back with Akira Schmid in net against Colorado in altitude." Like all the things that should be negative towards a team, and they take the Avs all the way to overtime, and obviously the Avs win. But the only way to get value on the Avs last night was taking them in reg, and of course that doesn't happen. So just in general, it feels like very unpredictable. Sabres are on a tear right now, as I'm sure you're hating it. The Bruins with a massive win the other day too, against the Devils in New Jersey. So just lots of weird stuff. So trying to find predictable outcomes is a little bit tricky right now. So I'm really scaling down my betting, at least for NHL, until the playoffs start, and trying to just really target more milestone type stuff. So that will be kind of where I'm going to be looking for the most part.
Jed's just sent you a link if you want to come join. So up to you. But yeah, exactly. Canucks come back from 3 goals down with a minute to go. It's absurd, but as weird as it sounds, like I'm with you in the same point. I do want the playoffs to start. I'm ready for it here, but it's just getting to the point where you have to be very selective about what team you're backing. And there's a few angles, I don't know about you, but that I had tried to kind of incorporate in this. And one is a team making a playoff push. Obviously, that's the biggest one that we're all looking for. 2, again, kind of some of these teams fighting for seeding within the space as well. Hang on, let me get Cheds in here.
Get him in there. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, like, obviously the Wild have a lot to play for tonight. The Blues have a lot to play for tonight. The Flames, right? Rangers to an extent. I could see the Rangers choking tonight, though, because that's how the Rangers have been recently. But yeah, I agree. Trying to target these teams that are actually have something to go for is the way to go. What's up, man?
What's going on, Cheds? Thanks for joining us today.
Muted, my bad.
Oh,
we're back.
Hell yeah! See, look at this. We're adding people live to the stream.
Live.
Right,
long-time listener, first-time caller.
and people say our production value hasn't increased over these years. It's insane.
Move over. I'm like out of center here. There we go.
But Cheds, we were talking about kind of just being selective here in the overall process. With the 2 weeks remaining, we're talking about kind of backing those playoff teams, backing those teams that are kind of competing for a seed in a certain division. And a third angle that I've kind of like to back as well is just who likes to pad their stats. And a prime example of this past 2 weeks has been Tage Thompson. Tage Thompson, just Sabres are done. Season's over. Tage Thompson goes, hey, you know what would look great if I put up 40 goals this year? And you know what? Why not? Because nothing matters.
Quietest 40-goal season ever.
No. I'm just going to be selfish here and pad my stats with a week to go. Watch this. Just brutal. But
you know who else is real good at that? Insanely good at padding stats. Nikita Kucherov is really good at padding his stat line. He is incredible. I think he's got 18 points in his last 6 games.
Yeah, it is absurd. Trevor Zegras has started to fire the puck more. He's another guy that's kind of at this hilarious moment of just like, all right, let's pad these stats here. Yeah, it's that. So that's another angle too that I've just been exploring of who's kind of selfish and wants wants a little bit more money in the offseason.
Yeah. Hey man, you can never take away a 40-goal season or a 100-point season from a guy. If it's on their stats, as far as anybody's concerned, it doesn't matter if it was done over the last 2 games of a season when they were just going to miss the playoffs, or if they were fighting for the 1 seed or whatever. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. When you look at Kucherov's stats or Taja's stats, you're like, man, look at all those 40-goal seasons he has. Sabres haven't made the playoffs in this
14.
century.
14, as I was going to say, to your point, you can never take away a team missing the playoffs for 14 years in a row either. So, credit to Tage. He's got 40 goals, and we still suck.
Well, unfortunately for him, it doesn't really help him. He signed an 8-year deal last year, so it's not like he can get any more money.
Oh, he's stuck. He's stuck in Buffalo. But I guess we can. Anything else, kind of, you wanted to bring up before the game start, Cheds?
I'm not sure if you guys talked about it while I was like hopping off from viewing to joining in.
Yeah.
Dallas. What the fuck? They were up 5-2 with a minute left in the game, and they lost it 6-5. How is that even like remotely possible? To Vancouver can't score for shit.
I know. The team doesn't even shoot. How can they score that many goals if they don't know how to shoot?
Well, the Sabres only had 18 shots on goal, and they beat Carolina the other night. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but that's the script to beating Carolina. That's why that's what the Devils need to do is just hope your goaltending outperforms theirs. And as their goaltending outperforms theirs, then you just hope you get 1 or 2 lucky goals and then defend up. Carolina will take 40 shots, but they're usually low quality. They just take a shit ton of shots. So,
you guys want to borrow James Reimer for the playoffs?
No.
He's pretty good. He's been fantastic the past few games.
He's not that good. To Sabres fans, he's God's greatest gift because he's better than Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He's not actually that good.
Yeah,
he's just good right now, just in time to like move you guys out of a top 5 pick, right?
Yeah, there was like Craig Anderson to end the year. I want to say last year when he was otherworldly.
Yes,
we just have these random goaltenders play out of their minds with a few games to go. But yeah, I mean, some incredible first round matchup. Carolina, New Jersey should be good. Cheds, how are you feeling? I mean, we'll obviously do our full playoff preview next week, but how are you feeling as of now? Pretty much locked in with New Jersey and Carolina in the first round.
We will probably lose in 5 or 6 games. We don't match up well with that team to begin with. I think us fixing our goaltending is a huge deal, especially with the volume of shots they take. It's super important that we don't give up that many. Yeah. But without Jack Hughes, I don't think we can really do much against that offense. The whole thing for us was like, Jack Hughes typically against them is in a really good spot because Nico Hischier could take the toughest matchup. So at least at home, we'll put Jack Hughes against like Jack Roslovic and whoever that second line is, and we're probably able to like do really, really well. Without him, I'm not going into that playoff series expecting anything, which could also be dangerous. You go in those teams that like they kind of have nothing to lose because everyone expects them to lose anyway. That's kind of like where I'm sitting with them. So maybe the team just like comes together. The only way I see the Devils winning that series is if Jacob Markstrom has a masterclass series, which is doable. Like I wouldn't put the Devils' chances of winning at 0%, but I think they're really low. Yeah. But their only out is I think our goaltending duo is significantly better than their goaltending duo. Mm-hmm. And if they could outplay them, anything could happen. But again, I think Carolina beats us. I want to say 5. I could see us winning 2, maybe get it to 6. The only thing, Carolina can't really win games on the road in playoffs. That's kind of been like their struggle for a really long time now. So we need to just take care of home ice and then hope maybe you could steal one, but I'm not too confident of stealing one in Raleigh. So
Devils have been better on the road though this season, right? Like the record.
Carolina is just like next level at home.
I know.
It's kind of like that Edmonton-LA series as well with the home ice advantage there of LA's been significantly better at home ice, and they're not going to have it in that matchup. All right. I guess we'll get into the games for today. I mean, the first one, Toronto, Tampa Bay, huge matchup here in the Atlantic Division. Tampa Bay can tie Toronto tonight for that 1 seed, which would be very, very interesting. I mean, Toronto could either get Ottawa or they could just somehow end up blowing this and have to play Florida again, which would just be, so perfect for Leafs fans. Of you think you're going to win the Atlantic, coasting against the Senators, and bam, you have to play the Panthers in the first round. Cheds, have you done any picks for today, or all right?
You guys are looking at like the very, like, I don't know, non-chaos factor of potential playoff matchups. The woke and then the fun way to look at this: Toronto ends at the 1 seed.
Yep.
On Friday, Montreal beats Ottawa. Ottawa without Brady for the rest of the year. Montreal surpasses Ottawa for the number one, the wild card 1, and we get Toronto versus Montreal in the first round. That is what we're rooting for.
Yeah.
I think that would be absolute cinema.
Yeah.
That is my preferred. So we need Toronto to win, and we need Montreal to do better than Ottawa, basically. Yep. I think that would be a super fun playoff series. That would also... I'd give a Sens Caps. I genuinely think the Senators, a healthy Senators team, could take it to that Caps team. I think but then again, Ottawa also has they've won like 8 in a row against Toronto, so I don't know. They probably don't care either way.
I think that's
all
fair.
That to say, we're talking about the game. We're Toronto, Tampa Bay.
Yep.
I have absolutely no plays for this game.
Really?
No. The only one that even looked decent to me with that's not a horrendous price is Matty Nyes. I think he's like minus 138 for shots.
Yep.
For 2. He's been pretty good on the road. He's got a pretty good history against Tampa Bay. I mean, I like Kucherov, but over 1.5 is pretty tough against the Maple Leafs. They're good defensively. Stolar's been really good in net. It's not the best matchup, I would say. So all in all, not much from this game. For this game, this is the one game I'm probably the least action-wise on.
Yeah, I like that Nyes look too. Had an 8 of his last 10, and then 6 of his last 6 on the road, and 8 of his last 13 against Tampa Bay. Nick Paul is also an interesting character tonight at that 2+ mark. I had him circled. Not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger yet with that. You mentioned Kucherov, 2 points. Again, looks great, but like you said, to your point, that Toronto has certainly been stingier against kind of goals overall in their last few games. Kucherov's shots is an interesting look, too, at that 4+. Toronto, 8th most forwards in the last 10. Kucherov, kind of sporadic, hitting in 5 of his last 10. Each of his last 2 matchups, or each of his last 2 at home, and then 9 of his last 15 against Toronto. So those were kind of the looks I had. Hedman point is bettable on DraftKings, minus 145, not bettable on FanDuel, minus 162. So those are kind of the looks I had in this one. Haven't really placed any bets to Ched's point in this game, but Franco, do you have anything that you really like in Toronto, Tampa Bay?
Nothing I really like. 2 things that kind of stood out to me. The first one is, did you guys know Mitch Marner has never had a 100-point season in his career?
I actually did, because I think I was arguing with you earlier about whether Mikko Rantanen is a better player earlier in the season.
Hey, I mean, how's Mikko looking right now?
I think his career high is 99, right?
Yes, his career high is 99. He's got 97 and 94 twice, so he's gotten close a lot. But yes, never 100.
All this to say that I was completely wrong in that argument. I was so standing up for Mikko Rantanen, and I was completely wrong.
Mikko.
What we know now is L.
Well, what we know now is McKinnon is just a god. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. He can elevate people to an extent we'd even. I mean, Marty Necas was on a tear until they set up those guys on different lines. But regardless, 6 points away, 5 games left. You look at his history versus Tampa. Specifically recently, he's gotten 2 or more points in 4 of his last 5 games. He has hit 2 or more points in quite a lot. I mean, they've played a ton of games against each other over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. So lots of history there. I mean, if I'm him, like, playoffs and seeding aside, like, he's got to get there eventually, right? He's been so damn close. He's got 5 games left. Like you guys said, this is a game Toronto's probably going to want to get a win in. So I don't mind sprinkling him for 2 points. It's plus 204, so it's a great price. Obviously,
He's
I'm not
got great
going
history.
heavy. Yeah,
I can't get myself to bet the history on William Nylander. He gets 3 shots against Tampa almost every game. It's almost insane. You can't bet against Andrei Vasilevsky right now.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He's the best goalie in hockey over the last 10 games by far.
Yeah. And this isn't a game I necessarily lean over, so that's why I don't really love it. But again, just something I want to point out. The other one was Bjorkstrand shots. I have no idea why he's popping recently. He's hit 3 in 4 of his last 8 games, and decent history versus them as well. So not something I love again, but just you're getting his 2 shots at minus 135. Pretty good history against them and pretty decent recent form. So I don't know. These are both half unit at most bets for me, but I don't love this game overall, kind of like what Ched said.
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess we can move on to the next one then. Philly at New York. Franco, your Flyers are the road dogs in this one, plus 160. New York minus 192. Total set at 5.5 here. Any plays for you, Franco? There's a bunch of guys that pop on both sides for me. So I'll let you start off. What do you got in this one?
Honestly, I don't want to bet Flyers games anymore because my main goal is for the Flyers to lose. So I feel like if I back Flyers props or stuff to happen good either way, they end up winning, and then I just hate myself. So I don't know. I think again, I'm looking at more of the milestone type of stuff. Cooley's 2 goals away from 20. That would be obviously he's only been in the league for 3 years, so that would be his career high. Tyson Forrester and Tippett are both 1 goal away from 20. So those would be guys I'd be kind of looking at for goal scorer props. Again, longer shots, obviously. But yeah, I mean, this is a game. I feel like the Rangers have been so bad recently. So I don't know how you can have any confidence that this team's going to get the win tonight, being minus 190 or whatever. It's ridiculous. But Philly's been awful too. So obviously I'm rooting for the Rangers to get this win so we can lock in that 4 spot in the draft. I mean, I guess Couturier's been firing. It's not a guy I really want to back. But he's plus money, decent history as well. Again, I don't know. I'll let you guys take it. And, really, in reality, I just want Michkov to just keep killing it and the Flyers to keep losing. So as long as those 2 things happen, I'll be happy.
So why would you take Michkov shots tonight? Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I could go there. 2 games against them hasn't hit yet. Not that really matters, but form's been decent. I think he's been better at home though, right?
Yes.
Hit
in 3 of his last 4.
Yeah.
Can I interest you guys in a total?
Yes, please.
I love the over 5.5 today.
Yeah, really? Quick and net, right?
Versus quick at 5.5 at a playable price. I think the Rangers are very misunderstood as a team. I actually, against New Jersey and Tampa Bay, they haven't played that bad, at least by the advanced fancy numbers. I know people hate them. Against New Jersey, they had 1.5 more expected goals than New Jersey did. Jacob Markstrom just outplayed Igor Shesterkin. They had 3.75 goals expected. They scored 0. Then to make matters even significantly worse for them on, was it Tuesday? No, Monday against Tampa Bay, they put up 4.8 goals expected. They scored 1. So now you have back-to-back games of scoring 3 goals less than you probably should have. And you're giving me, it really wouldn't matter which of the 3 bozos Philly put in net. They all stink. I think they're going to be able to score goals. So that's one edge of the equation. The other one is the Rangers don't play any defense. It's not that Igor Shesterkin's that bad. It's just that he's left in a 3-on-1 every 3rd shift. And the team end up scoring. Philly will probably manage to score at least 2 or 3. I'm backing a little bit of positive regression for the Rangers and able to score because they're not playing an elite goalie. And I'm backing that Philly has been good enough lately and playing a little bit more, I don't know how to say it, non-John Tortorella hockey. They're actually skating into the zone with the puck as opposed to just dumping it in and chasing it.
Crazy how that works, huh?
Yeah, It really is. And that's leading to goals, which is surprising as well there. So I think both those, like the 5.5 total is insane to me with the level of goaltending we have in this game.
Yeah, I like that look a lot here. Adam Fox at 2. Chads, have you looked at this one?
Honestly, I've been pretty out on shot on goal props now for
Okay.
I'd say about 2 months. Like
All right.
I'll take a gander at them. Like I'll go if someone's like really hot. Like I've been riding like Brian Rust recently. He's been shooting a ton, or like Timo Meyer. I don't really look at too many of them, to be quite honest with you. Like I've used Michkov as a 2 shot on goal builder now for a good bit. He's been really consistent in getting it too. But no, I've not looked at Adam Fox.
Yeah, so I like Adam Fox tonight. Philly, 12th most shots against to defensemen in their last 10 games here. Fox has been firing as of late, hitting 4 of his last 5, hitting 3 of his last 4 against Philadelphia overall. And I'm pulling up his stats right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah, his attempts during that span too have been great. So 9, 5, 5, and 9. He missed in one of those games, but he still, like I said, had that 5 shots on goal attempts. So I like Fox tonight. You're getting him at a bettable number, -130 for 2+. We all remember when he was at 2.5 before, and now he's dropped to that 1.5 line. And again, great price on Fox tonight. So I like his 2+. And then I am going to jump on Michkov shots on goal as well tonight too. So 2 plays in this one. Michkov just seems to be enjoying hockey, which is crazy because he really didn't seem to be that excited to play for the Philadelphia Flyers for a long time. But yeah, so I like Michkov at over 2.5 -125 DK, and Fox at 2+ -130 on FanDuel. So those are the 2 plays I got in this one.
I mean, you need a pair for him or something, but I like Panarin to get a point today.
Oh, okay.
Really good history against the Rangers or against the Flyers. We talked about the goalies in net; they're all pretty rough over on the Philly side. I think the Rangers are out of this. I don't think they have a chance to make the playoffs. But like,
no,
you'd hope there's some sense of pride after just getting booed out of your own barn on Monday to like come out and actually put some sort of a valiant effort up. And if someone's going to do it, I mean, he's their best player. He looks great. I mean, he's got a point in like 80% of home games this year. Again, you'd have to pair him up with someone. Maybe like I did it with Kaprizov, just because it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I think Panarin's putting up a point today.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Any other looks in this one?
No, I think I'm good. I mean, if you like that 2 shots for Michkov, you could probably do that with Panarin point. That might be a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Just take both of them and get a point, honestly. If you like the over.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next game, San Jose at Minnesota. San Jose +270, Minnesota -340. Minnesota 4 points out of that wild card 2 spot in the West. Cheds, you mentioned you took Panarin Kaprizov point. So that's your point parlay. Any other looks in this one for San Jose, Minnesota?
I mean, you got to like everyone on this. I also have like a longer I took a longer shot points play with 2 guys, laddered them up 1 and 2, with Michkov being the first candidate, and the second one being Marco Rossi. I think his point line at -128 is insane when you're playing 5-on-5 with Kirill Kaprizov, especially against the San Jose Sharks with Alexander Georgiev in net. So I like the side of Marco Rossi, and also just highlighting Matt Boldy has an insane history against the San Jose Sharks. He has 2+ points in 6 straight games against them. He has a goal in 4 straight and 5 of his last 6 against them. And he's finally going to be playing with somewhat relatively better players. Joel Eriksson Ek comes back, so they kind of get to reformat those lines back to what they should be, with Joel Eriksson Ek as the Boldy center, and then Kaprizov gets the harder minutes, most likely. So, yeah, I'm very, very, very heavy on the Minnesota Wild today, especially because Calgary's breathing down their necks. Calgary is, 2 points back?
Calgary is
4 points back with the game in hand. So if they win their game in hand, it's 2. But then these 2 teams play. Today's Wednesday. These 2 teams play on Friday night.
Oh.
So if Minnesota lost to San Jose today, Calgary won their game against Anaheim, Calgary would be 2 points back, 2 games back, or 2 points back, I had it right the first time, with a game in hand, and those teams would play each other on Friday. At that point, Calgary's destiny is in their own hands. They just win their games, and they're in. Like, this is a game that Minnesota can't afford to drop. They've been on a pretty bad losing streak. They came over to the East Coast and the New York trip and didn't do very well. They kept putting up points. Like, they kept losing in overtime at least, so that's good for them. But they're not winning games. And, like, it's given Calgary the opportunity to kind of run in there and potentially have a chance. Calgary could still get up to, I believe it's a max of 97 points. So, like, especially with them playing each other, this isn't as big of a must-win for Minnesota as possible, in my opinion. Like, you can't afford to drop this game.
Eriksson Ek returns, Kaprizov returns. Any thoughts on either of those guys for shots tonight?
I wouldn't touch them. You don't know what kind of form they're going to be in, you know?
Yeah.
Like, are they going to have their skating legs right away? Is it going to take them like a period, even a period and a half?
With. Like, if it's like a wrist, shoulder, like something that affects shooting, like those are always the worst because teams aren't going to disclose exactly what it is regardless in worries of these players getting like targeted for injuries. Just take Kaprizov for points. I don't see a reason to take him for shots. I'd be more inclined on Joel Eriksson Ek. Just because, like,
I mean, he was in insane form before he got hurt too. He was firing like crazy. Yeah, I agree though.
I also think most of that form when that he was having before he got hurt, that was also when Kaprizov was already out. So like, now with Kaprizov back, like that's a little bit of like a misleading line.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Franco, any look?
So I love the Boldy look, the 2 points and the goal prop. I think that's just like an auto bet at this point. Given the guys coming back, regardless of how you feel about them, like what their form is going to be, I know what Boldy's form is, at least against this team, and he's been playing, at least decently. So tons of shot attempts, especially recently, averaging like 9, 8, 8 attempts the last couple. So he's firing the puck a ton. So yeah, I think given the form against them, goals in 4 of his last 5, including a multi-goal game in there. And I think he's like 4 goals away from 30. So again, another guy to kind of with a little bit extra juice there. 2 other ways to kind of look at this game. Like there's obviously no value on Minnesota money line. It's like, minus 345, which we'll go back to that thing where we say, no team should ever be minus 400, minus 350 in a game. But my only cause for hesitation here is this might be Fleury's last home game of a regular season that he's going to be starting today. So that gives me a little bit of pause as far as, him just coming out and dominating. So I look at it 2 ways. One way would be sprinkle his shutout prop or Sharks team total, under 0 or whatever on FanDuel. I think it's plus 650. So that's probably the best number you're getting. It's not a great number. Again, sprinkle it. But again, if you want to target that angle that we typically do where we say a team should never be favored by that much, you can get Sharks first period team total over a half at plus 105, which could be a good look as well. If you do want to back Minnesota in any kind of way, their team total in FanDuel is minus 140 for over 3.5. I don't mind looking there as well. Obviously, there's no way in hell I'm laying minus 345 or minus 250 on their reg line or anything like that. So just a couple kind of ways, just depending on how you think this game's going to go, to try to find a little bit of value.
Yeah, I like that. No love for the puck line?
No.
Okay, fair enough. I do have 2 plays here that I like, though. The first one's Brock Faber. Just been firing lately. Minus 115 at that 2+ shots on goal mark on FanDuel. Hitting each of his last 7, hitting 4, each of his last 4 at home. Been better at home this season and has a pretty solid track record against San Jose. Another guy, too, Jared Spurgeon. His attempts have been insane. 4, 6, 2, 7. 5, he looks pretty good against tonight. Not so much great head-to-head history, but in their lone matchup against the Sharks this season, he had 6 shots on goal on 7 attempts. And he's been more consistent at home this season as well, hitting in 5 of his last 6. So Spurgeon at 2+, -115 on FanDuel, and Faber at that same number, -115 for 2+ on FanDuel as well. So those are the guys I like.
That Spurgeon look is crazy, man. His recent form,
insane.
Yeah.
So that's what I got tonight. Any other looks in this one?
Anyone want to take some San Jose props?
I'm
not.
Yeah. I mean, Will Smith at 2 is a parlay piece at best, but do you trust him tonight?
Nope.
I think Minnesota takes care of business today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think they do too.
And if they don't, I think they're missing the playoffs. So
that's a fair point. All right. Next game, St. Louis at Edmonton. Edmonton -108. St. Louis -112. Total set at 5.5 here. -115 to the under. Franco, what do you got in this one?
Well, I think me and Chez are both on this one. We grabbed Blues money line at +120. I think you even got a better number on.
Yeah. I got it 127, I believe.
127. So yeah, obviously that's shifted now. It's -112 on the Blues. A lot of that's going to be due to the news. Their center depth right now, and that's really what it comes down to. Just looks absolutely brutal. I think that's really what it comes down to. That we know that's one of the most important things in this game, right? Like your blue line is important, your goaltending is important, but like if you don't have good centers playing on your team, like I think that's like one of the main reasons why the Bruins are just absolute cheeks this year is their center depth. But I think it's one of the most like underappreciated. Like if you don't know puck, you know what I mean? Like one of the most underappreciated things. If you look at a center like depth from 1 to 4, your lines, and you're like, who the hell are these guys? That's a bad thing. When Kasperi Kapanen's centering your second line, Matthias Janmark is third, and we got Noah Phillip. I mean, they don't even have a full fourth line on daily faceoff, so I don't know what the hell they're doing there. Adam Henrique in the one. But
I actually have a fun tidbit about that. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're going to call somebody up or something. I don't think they're going to roll 11-7, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. The Edmonton Oilers, this is my fun little quirk. The Edmonton Oilers are so far against the cap that they do not have the cap space to call anyone up. They have to go 11-6 today.
Oh, even better.
So they cannot call anyone up. Noah Phillip is not a center, I'm pretty sure. He's taken like 60 faceoffs all year.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
they're going 11-6 today.
I mean, that's brutal. I mean, everything is stacked against. If the Blues lose this game, I swear to God, like I'm just done. I'm not betting another game for the rest of the fucking season because like it's just ridiculous. Like there's no way in hell this center. Like what are they going to do? You know what I mean? And like not even to mention like they don't look particularly great on the wings either. It's not like, oh well, they have these stars on the wings. Like Zach Hyman and Corey Perry on the first line. Like this is looking great. So I love Blues money line tonight. I think that's my main play here. If you want to take a shot on one of these guys moving up for Edmonton, be my guest. But I'm not going to be doing it. I'm just going to back the Blues. And yeah, I mean, that's where I'm going to go tonight.
Can I give you probably my favorite single wager in the game today that could only be found on ESPN Bet, and it's been kind of nuked down since I took it. So
Let's hear it.
Do you guys have access to ESPN Bet?
I do. I don't use it though.
Yeah, I don't use it either.
They
but
just
yes.
released face-off props, face-off props that you could solo bet. Earlier this morning, when the news came out, I took Adam Henrique over 9.5 face-offs won. He has won in his last 4 games 10, 13, 11, and 6. All those games being with McDavid out, Draisaitl out. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins played. So Ryan Nugent-Hopkins took about 15, 20 faceoffs out of those games, and he still hit his line. Now today, with no Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he is the only player on that team to take more than 150 faceoffs this year, is Adam Henrique, and he's taking like 1,000. Kasperi Kapanen, right? He's the second-line center?
Yes, that's the David line.
He's not a center.
I don't think he's a center either. That's why.
Like 80 faceoffs this
That's what I was wondering.
Matthias Janmark's taking like 110, and Noah Phillip's taking like 50. I think Adam Henrique might be the only guy on that team that knows how to take a faceoff in the lineup today. Only pause.
What a great bet.
Robert Thomas is like one of the best face-off guys on like in hockey. He takes a ton of them. He's like a 54% or something like that. But Adam Henrique's pretty good himself. I wish they let me bet how many he would take. Oh, focus. Because I think he's going to easily take like 25 or 30. But I need you to win 50% of them. I need him to get 10. Win 10 faceoffs.
You also have to account for the fact that Edmonton's going to have last change tonight too, and they're probably not going to want to match up those first lines. So Henrique's going to be facing the Blues probably second or third lines majority of the night as well.
I don't think Edmonton has any idea what they want to do today.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they have much of an option. I feel like that's their shutdown line and their scoring line. It's not like, I mean, I guess Janmark's a decent defensive player overall, but
he's with Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner's not your defensive,
the anti-defense.
But you're also like, that's a good point. Like at home, like they get last change. Henrique's going to be out there for so many faceoffs today. He's like power play 1, penalty kill 1, line 1, like end of like. There's literally no situation where he's not the guy taking these faceoffs. He might be the one double shifted on the fourth line when they need a faceoff. Like I generally think he could take 30 or 35 today.
Does anyone have their time on ice prop?
I don't think so. I didn't see any today.
Yeah, I love how stuff like that pops up, right? And you're like, oh, cool. Like this looks like a new market we can explore, and then it just is gone.
I realized it a couple games ago because I was able to smack Carolina props. When Jordan Stahl was out, the books just didn't adjust Sebastian Aho's face-off line, so he was sitting at like 6.5.
Nice.
Jordan Stahl takes like 30 a game. So he took all of them, and Sebastian Aho had like 14-1 in the first period, literally. It was against Chicago, granted, who has like the worst face-off record in hockey. But like still. Like there's a lot of like inconsistency on like niche markets like that books just don't understand the influence of like someone like Jordan Stahl being out and differences like that. So
yeah, I like that look a lot. So then is Zach Hyman 3+ a look tonight for shots?
not for me.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I could see where you're going there just because who the hell's going to shoot? But
exactly.
I just don't want to. I don't want to be pro Edmonton anything, to be honest with you. Just given what the hell this team's going to look like, I get it. Like his history against them was fantastic, but it's just
I'm the same way. I'm not saying this in a bad way. Zach Hyman's really good in his role when everyone's healthy, and he's fantastic at like sweeping up the dirty stuff and tips and rebounds. Like he's not a guy that generates his own chances. That's not like his type of play. I don't see him being the guy to make his own shot because with Draisaitl and all them out, like he's typically not the facilitator. He's typically the guy like on the receiving end of all this space being created by Draisaitl and McDavid, even like a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for lesser reach, I guess. For me personally, I'm all over the. I'd rather be all over Evan Bouchard. He kind of just rips at will. The last game they played,
his point looks pretty good for tonight. But again,
Anaheim, like what all they did is they got in the zone and then rung it around the boards, and the defenseman, whoever it was, whether Wallman had like 8 shots, Bouchard had like 6. That's all they were doing. They were just generating offense from the back end.
Cheds, you brought up Rob Thomas too. I know DK does the pick 6. Rob Thomas over 10.5 faceoffs. 1 tonight is his line. If he's going to be matching up against some of those guys that don't really take faceoffs, any thoughts on that?
I like it a ton. I mean, he's going to take a lot. The only worry on their side is Radek Faksa and Braden Shen are both pretty, like St. Louis in general is like a pretty good face-off team. I have the stats because I looked it up. So Faksa is the best one on the team. Radek Faksa is like a 60%. Robert Thomas is around 52, and then Braden Shen, he doesn't take many, but Braden Shen's another guy who's like up and around like the 51% mark. So like they have a lot of good face-off guys on the team. Thomas is just the one that takes the most because he's playing all the time. I'd rather stay away. I think that's too much like up in the air, and like there's a lot of luck that goes into that prop as well.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair point. All right. I think we talked about this game enough here. So last game of the night, Calgary at Anaheim. Anaheim plus 130, Calgary minus 155. Total set at 6.5 here. Even money to the over. game. We talked about this with Minnesota, a game that Calgary needs to win tonight. They face an Anaheim team. It's been certainly better as of late, but I do like Calgary and Reg tonight to win this and to kind of all lead up to that game on Friday night. So give me Calgary and Reg. I want to say that's plus money tonight, plus 105. So I like Calgary and Reg a lot tonight. But Cheds, any picks in this one?
Keep it real simple on my end. I think Ville Husso might be the worst goalie in hockey. It's very rare that you see a goalie be announced and the total move from 5.5 minus like 130 to 6.5 still minus money. Like he's literally moved the entire line by himself. He's real bad, and I like a ton of the Calgary side of things. So you're looking at Kadri. I think a sneaky one, Mackenzie Weegar. He doesn't really score, so just take his assist anyway. It's literally the same hit rate for both of them. He's been playing a ton. I like those guys. I like points. Shots-wise, I'd rather go the other side of the coin. Like Mason McTavish has been ripping lately. Cutter Gauthier, Franco's boy, has been scoring and ripping of late, kind of coming to his own. I'd rather go on that side for shots, but Calgary's been the ones that they've been scoring. Nazem Kadri's been on a nice little pair as well.
Yeah. The one guy I do like on Calgary for shots tonight, he's been kind of one of my favorite players to bet as of late, has been Rasmus Anderson. 2+ at minus 145 on DK. He's minus 156 on FanDuel, so be sure to shop around for that. Hitting each of his last 9, each of his last 5 at home, and then 7 of 10 against Anaheim. So I think that's just under kind of that margin where it's not bettable as a straight. So I do like Rasmus Anderson at 2 for shots on goal, minus 145. Franco, what do you have in this one?
I guess given any other matchup, I'd be looking to get some value on these Anaheim player point props. I mean, Zegras has been good recently. McTavish has been really good. But I don't know. It's like Wolf has been great all year, right? But he's not been as good on the road, at least over the course of the season. He's been a little bit better recently, but like his, home road splits have been pretty significant over the course of the season. So I don't know. I think there's some value to look at these guys. Zegras point is minus 106. McTavish is minus 130-ish. But yeah, just given like what this game means for Calgary and kind of the game that they play, the game they want to play at least. I know Anaheim doesn't give a shit. Like, if you want to play a slow, 2-1, 3-1 type of game, they're going to try to go balls to the wall constantly. So
I think you could have stopped it with just Anaheim doesn't give a shit. Their season's done. They don't care at all.
Yeah, but like that just like it's almost like a little bit of a worry, right? Like they might get 1 or 2 here, or maybe even 3 goals, in this game, because I don't think that they stop. Like it's not, if they're down 4-0, like I don't think they care. They're gonna get one, So I don't know. I don't love a lot here. I wish there's a little bit more value on a guy like McTavish. I don't love the minus 135 for his point. I wish it was a little bit better, just given the matchup. But that would be where I'd be looking. Yeah, I think in reality, you just take that Calgary and Reg. They need to get this win one way or another. So maybe that's the way to go, or take their money line in some sort of parlay or something like that. Or hell, maybe hope that Anaheim scores first somehow. Watch the game. Maybe Anaheim gets a stupid goal early, and then grab Calgary live money line, and that might be the best way to do it. I think there will be goals here.
If you're on FanDuel, the live shots for Calgary are insane. Whenever Calgary goes down in like the second, third period, Calgary just ends up ripping in the third. Like they had that one game against Dallas where they had like 26 shots in the third period. They are absolutely like playing with desperation right now. They can't afford to drop this game. The thing is, I bet you one of Minnesota or Calgary lose today. I'm pretty safe in saying one of them will drop a stupid game. I like that Anaheim team a lot.
They're feisty.
Yeah.
I'm ready if they give me a future tomorrow to bet playoffs next year. I think Anaheim make it next year. I love that team. All they got to do is get rid of Trevor Zegras. They'll be fine.
They need a new coach. I think they need a new coach too, honestly. But Maybe I'm wrong.
I personally think, what is it, Greg Cronin? I think he's done a pretty good job developing their players. He gets a lot of hate because like they haven't been like the most winning team, but I saw this stat on. It was something. I think it might have been the Rangers versus. It was either the Rangers game against Anaheim or it was the Toronto played them. It probably was Toronto. And I think it was Sportsnet that said the Anaheim Ducks have the largest jump in points from last year to this year. Actually, that can't be true because Washington's definitely above them. There's no way Washington's below them. It was something like that. Maybe it was in the Western Conference. Essentially, the stat was like the biggest jump from points last year to points this year is Anaheim. They finished like 50 last year or something. It was something terrible. They've taken a step. I think they've gotten better. They've got a really good young core. I could see them going big game hunting in the offseason for a big free agent. They have a ton of cap space to do it. I can see them trading a guy like John Gibson. I think Dostal has won that number one role, like frees up even more cap. Like, who's to say, after Toronto gets bumped in round one, Mitch Marner doesn't want to go to the beautiful seas of California for $14 million a year. They got the money to do it.
Taxes
are kind of the same.
Game hunting. They have a ton of their young guys still on entry level contracts. Like, they have the opportunity to really beef up that team if they wanted to, with some fun trade assets too. Like a guy like Zegras, a guy like Gibson, like you can get some pretty good pieces and free up some more cap space. I think that's a really fun team in the offseason. I think that's a really fun team next year in general.
Yeah, I would agree. All right. Do you guys want to put together a parlay for tonight, or Cheds, do you already have enough kind of out?
There's never too much.
Perfect.
Give me another one.
All right. Love it. I will let you start us off then tonight. Any plays that you really love?
What's a play that I really love? I'm also trying to think like not something that I have a lot on already.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little sneaky one.
All right.
A lot of people on the Blues, a lot of people on Robert Thomas. Pavel Buchnevich is minus 115 for a point.
I like that.
Really good history against Edmonton. Got a point in, what is that? I got to count real quick. 7 of his last 8 games against Edmonton. He's got a point in 3 straight games. He's got a point in 65% of road games this year. If you think Robert Thomas is going to have a good game, it's most likely Pavel Buchnevich will as well. So a little sneaky one there. I like him today.
I like that a lot. Franco, did you have one for tonight?
Yeah, now I want to go less juicy because I took that one. That's a good one. Let's go.
I have one if you want me to go.
Go ahead.
I mean, again, a little bit juicy, but when comparing lines, so Huberdeau at that 2+ mark, he's minus 184 on FanDuel tonight, minus 165 on DK. I think this is kind of my favorite parlay piece of the night here against a leaky Anaheim team. He's had an 8 of 10, 6 of his last 10 at home, and 7 of his last 10 against Anaheim. So I like Huberdeau at that 2+ mark, just over that parlay piece kind of region. So that's my favorite.
Quickly, I think you said at home. They're on the road today.
On the road, excuse me. Yep. 7 of his last 10 on the road.
Okay, I just want to make
or 6 of his last 10 on the road, 7 of his last 10 versus opponent. Sorry. Got mixed up with my cheat sheet here. So last leg, Franco, up to you.
Let's just put it out there. Do you think we go Boldy 1 point, or do we go crazy and take Boldy for 2 points?
Take him to score, maybe?
Or to score. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I want Boldy.
Okay.
It's just how crazy do we want to get?
Deal.
Yeah, I mean, let's go Boldy to score. That kind of splits the difference, right?
Okay.
Plus 150.
I like him today.
Plus 160. All right, there we go. So plus 665 really parlay Boldy, anytime scorer, Huberdeau 2+ shots, and Buchnevich for 1+ point. Any other looks tonight before we wrap up here?
No, that's it for me.
Perfect. All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Cheds, thank you again for hopping on this Wednesday afternoon. We will not have a show Friday, so we'll be back tomorrow on our other show, and then Monday with another episode of Expected Bets 4. We appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys later. See ya.